Hello, everyone, and welcome to this month's CompTIA's A Plus study group. My name's Dakota, and this is actually our third A Plus study group we've ever done. The first two we did over on the IT career questions page. Make sure and leave the links to those in the descriptions below if you want to go watch the replay on that. Today, I plan on I got about 10 questions for you guys. We'll kind of go through a question and answer part, and then after that, we will go to an Ask Me Anything where you can chime in the chat, ask me questions you have, any questions in regards to the IT field, into the A plus certification. Really, ask me anything you'd like. So, with that said, if you chime in the chat during the study group, I might miss it. So if I miss it, please put your questions in there again once we open it up to the Ask Me Anything. With that said, let's get started. Alrighty. So, very first thing I want to do is mention that this week's study group is brought to you by Pluralsight. Pluralsight has a great program for studying for the A plus. I have actually a link in the description below. It's an affiliate link, but it gives you a 10-day free trial of Pluralsight software. So, if you're interested in trying to find a new learning platform, make sure and go check it out. So, with that said, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, very first question here. What command would be the best to reboot a Windows computer from the command prompt? All right, the options are reboot, shutdown, boot, task kill, and power. All right. So again, if you want to, go ahead and drop your answers in the chat below. If you think it's A, list A, B, so on. And sorry about that. My wife's bringing me some tea. If you can't tell, I'm a little bit under the weather currently. Getting over a cold here, so I'm really stoked to see people are chiming in the chat here. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like it's displaying on screen, but either way, I can see the chat and give you guys a couple more minutes to answer. Let those questions come in. Wild guess C. All right. Like I said, I probably won't be able to see most of the chat until after the Q&A, but I see a couple correct answers. Actually, I only see one so far. But let's go ahead and show the answers to this first question. So, B. The correct answer is B. So from a command prompt, if you wanted to reboot a Windows system, you would actually tell the command is shutdown. Shutdown with a \R. So the shutdown command is, if you want to shut down, and then your parameter would be -R. So shutdown is actually the correct answer here. On those questions, you got to be kind of careful because CompTIA might very well word a question like this. And shutdown would be the correct answer. That is the correct command. They didn't ask what the command and the parameter was. So, you got to really think these questions through on when you're actually in the exam environment. So, okay, next question. A user in the accounting department has turned on his computer for the first time after a week away from the office. Although the computer makes all the normal noises, no video is displayed on the screen. Which of these would most likely cause this issue? A. Hardware acceleration is enabled. B. The video card is overheating. C. The monitor input is incorrect. D. The monitor has dead pixels. Or E. The office is saving money on display outputs. So go ahead and put your answers in the chat. I'll read off the question again. A user in the accounting department has turned on his computer for the first time after a week away from the office. Although the computer makes normal noises, no video is displayed on the screen. Which of these would the most likely cause this issue? That's another key thing when you're taking the A plus exam. A lot of the questions there might be more than one correct answer, but CompTIA wants to know what is most likely the problem here. So it looks like everyone's hitting this right on the money. So give everyone a little bit more chance to chime in here. I'm glad to see a lot of people are turning out tonight. So, all right. So let's go ahead and C is indeed the correct answer. The monitor input is incorrect. So that's the most likely out of all the situations here. So moving on. We're cruising right through this tonight. An employee in the shipping department has been given rights and permissions to operate the shipping and mailing software suite, but the employee is not able to view the customer's invoices associated with the shipments. Which of the following would best describe this scenario? So this is a bit of a security question. It's still going to be something you might see on the A+ exam, but you have to really be prepared for all possible situations. So the options are A, security through obscurity, B, principle of least privilege, C, acceptable use policy, D, digital rights management, or E, permission audit. So looks like a lot of you are chiming in the chat there. See if I can get a little better view of the chat. What's going on? There we go. Sorry that the chat's not displaying on screen, guys. Don't know. I'm trying a new setup here where I'm streaming to both Twitch and YouTube at the same time. So getting all the bugs worked out, but next time I'll have it down. So I think everyone's kind of chimed in here. I see a lot of answers. So let's go ahead and just display it if my computer will allow me to. So the correct answer would be B, principle of least privilege. So security is that's kind of a tricky one for a lot of people. A is actually a true answer. Is an actual thing. Security through obscurity. People talk about that actually on a day-to-day basis. But what the whole concept is the employee's not able to view the invoices associated with the shipments. So you have to set the correct. You have a whole tier system set up here. And principle of least privilege. You only want to give the users the most amount of privilege that is necessary for them to perform their tasks. If they don't need access to the invoices, then they shouldn't have had it. So B would be the correct answer. Okay, moving on. Hopefully into a couple more, a little bit more easier ones. Which type of drive formatting would leave data intact and potentially recoverable? So which type of drive formatting would leave data intact and potentially recoverable? A, low-level format. B, high-level format. C, a regular format. D, quick format. Or E, FDE format. So let's everyone chime in here. So which type of formatting would leave data intact and potentially recoverable? Seeing a lot of answers roll in here. Sorry, I'm going to take a drink here. Just getting over a cold. And hello everyone who's just joining us. We are doing this month's CompTIA A+ study group. I'm hoping to do one of these on the fourth Friday of every month. So the second Friday of every month, we do an Ask Me Anything. 2 weeks after that, I'm hoping to do these A+ study groups on a monthly basis. And if a lot of people want it, I will do them on possibly a more frequent basis than that. But we're going to at least shoot for a monthly basis and try to keep that going. So, alrighty. So it looks like quite a few people chimed in. Let's go ahead and reveal the answer. So the answer is D, quick format. And if you remember kind of back in the days, there was always actually a prompt where a quick format would just erase the surface data. that a lot of the data would still exist on the drive. So a quick format is just that. It just does a quick format, and it doesn't actually fully erase the data. The data is still actually potentially recoverable. Now, you'd have to use some specialized tools or go take it to a data recovery place to get that data recovered. It's not a super easy process, but it is actually pretty doable. So, alrighty, next question. A user is complaining about slow network performance from his workstation. A network technician checks the network jack at the desk and finds that the end of the wires of the patch cable are not properly seated in the RJ45 connector. Which of these tools the technician use, or which of these tools can the technician use to correct this issue? A multimeter, B, a tone probe, C, a punch down tool, D, a crimper, or E, some duct tape. So let's talk about the problem here. So we got a user complaining about really poor network performance. It doesn't say if that's speed or if that's, connectivity. It's just poor performance. So the technician goes over to the wall and finds out the end of the wire that goes into the patch cable itself is not properly seated in the RJ45 connector. So I'm hoping that gives you guys enough of a hint what the answer should be. So we're talking about the actual cable. The cable is not seated into the RJ45 connector all the way. What tool would this technician use to seat that cable all the way? Seeing a lot of answers. And remember, CompTIA A wants the most likely answer. So, alrighty. It looks like they've kind of stopped rolling in, so let's review it. So the answer here is actually D, a crimper. So like I said, we're talking about the physical cable, not the wall jack. So C, a punch down tool, wouldn't be the correct answer. A punch down tool is the actual tool you use to connect it into the wall plate. So C, a crimper, you're going to actually crimp that end on the RJ45 cable. So, all right, and I mean, E, some duct tape, yeah, that may have fixed the problem, but duct tape, doesn't fix everything, and that's not the most likely answer that CompTIA wants. So, alrighty. We're cruising right along. We only have 10 questions tonight, so after we get through all the questions, like I said, I'm more than happy to open this up to and ask me anything. If you have any questions, get them ready, and we'll throw them up in the chat, and we'll keep this thing going. Alrighty. Next question. A user on the manufacturing floor is complaining their Windows computer is running slower than normal. Which of the following would be the best way to view real-time utilization of all the current programs running, or all the currently running programs? So a user on the floor is complaining that their Windows computer is running slower than normal. Which of the following would be the best way to view real-time utilization of all currently running programs? A, Event Viewer. B, Performance Monitor. C, Task Manager. D, Top. Or E, Services. Looks like all of you are right on with this question. Right on the money. Really, really good to see that. Correct. The answer is C, Task Manager. Task Manager allows you to see any currently running programs, applications that are currently using computer resources, and it will actually show you how much of computer resources each program is using. So I'm glad all of you got that. Next question. What is the minimum number of drives required to configure a RAID 1 array? So a RAID hard drive array, how many drives is it? How many minimum number of drives is required? We got pretty simple here. A1, B2, C3, D4, or E5. So you can put, you can either put the number in there or the letter. Once again, awesome. You guys all hitting this right on the money, it looks like. The answer is 2. So RAID 1, let's talk about RAID a little bit. RAID 1 is like a mirroring setup. So you have 2 drives, minimum of 2 drives, and they mirror each other. One's an exact image of the other. So, RAID 0 is you have striping across multiple drives. No parity, no backup, no security at all. So there's several different layers of RAID, and I plan on talking about that in a future video here, or we can talk about it during the Ask Me Anything. So, but the correct answer here is B. Next question. Which of these would be the best choice for playing audio from a mobile device to a set of wireless external speakers? So you got to remember, the CompTIA A+ isn't just there's 2 parts to it. There's really a hardware and a software / more or less operating systems part. So in that hardware section, your 901, you not only cover computers, but you cover mobile devices, you cover printers, you cover peripherals, you cover a lot of different topics. So this is one example of that kind of broad. They want to really make sure you are fully, capable of working on multiple things. So, alrighty. So, which of these would be the best choice for playing audio from a mobile device to a set of wireless external speakers? Sorry, guys. A. Micro USB. B. NFC or near field communication. C. Lightning. D. IR. Or E. PAN. So I didn't necessarily mention what technology we're talking about, but I mentioned also some of the protocols, or not necessarily the protocols, but the acronyms. A lot of people. There's some people that don't know, but this is definitely something that could very well possibly be on your A+. Alrighty. It is E, PAN. PAN stands for Personal Area Network. For example, Personal Area Network would be Bluetooth. Bluetooth would be a Personal Area Network. So, you have a PAN, you have LANs, which is a Local Area Network, WAN, Wide Area Network, MAN, Metropolitan Area Network, which we talked about that a little bit in our last A+ study group we did. So, awesome. Well, and see, I write these questions and hoping to help not only reconfirm the information you guys know, but also hopefully help you teach something and help you guys learn some more. So, if you don't know all the questions, it just shows you something that you might need to study for the A+. So, all right, next question here. A laptop user would like to revert their Windows 8.1 configuration to the same settings they were using 2 weeks ago. They don't want to lose any of their work during this time. Which of these would provide this functionality? A. Windows refresh. B. LMV snapshot. C. Recovery console. D. Windows backup and restore. Or E. System restore. So a laptop user would like to revert their Windows 8.1 configuration to the same settings they were using 2 weeks ago. They don't want to lose any information, any of their work they did. Which of these features would provide this functionality? Go ahead and leave your answers here in the chat. If you're just chiming in, we're doing our monthly CompTIA A+ study group, where I come up with about 10 to 15 questions every month. We do this little question and answer section, and then afterwards, we open up the chat to a Q&A where you can ask me anything. So, ask me anything in regards to trying to get into the tech field. Ask me anything in regards to getting your A+ certification or any other certifications. Really, you can ask me anything. So. Alrighty. Let's reveal the answer here. So the answer is E, a system restore. D wouldn't be the correct answer because that's the backup and restore. So that's physically rolling back the whole computer. You'd lose actually any work you did in that 2 week period. So D would not be the correct answer. The correct answer here is E, a system restore. Alrighty, next question. A network administrator has been asked to create a secondary name for an existing file server. Which DNS record would be the best choice for this task? A, SRV. B, an MX. C, CNAME. D, TXT. Or E, AAA. So, a network administrator has been asked to create a secondary name for an existing file server. Which DNS record would be the best choice for this task? Joe, I see you put wild guess, and that's a really good thing. So I've heard that CompTIA does not deduct points for wrong answers. So if you get down to it and you just don't know your answer, just guess. You don't lose any points for a wrong guess, but there's always that chance you might guess that question correctly. So, alrighty. So, which of these would be best choice for this task? The answer is a CNAME. A CNAME is a secondary name, or as also known as an alias. So if you have a network administrator has asked to create a secondary name for an existing file server. So you have a file server, and you want to give it a secondary name, another location to go to. That correct. So the answer would be a CNAME. And actually, it looks like that was all the questions I had for this week. We really flew through that in 20 some odd minutes. So give me a second here. I'm going to go switch it up. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. Not quite sure what happened there. So, let's see if we can get things worked out here. Give me a second to get everything going together. And get the chat up here on screen. All right. Let me know if you guys can hear me now. Drop something down in the chat. Let me know you can hear me. Hopefully everything's working. I was trying to switch between scenes here, but my microphone wasn't quite working. So, like I was saying, if you have any questions, technology is wonderful when it works. Well, hopefully you guys can hear me. Yep, there's a yep. Alrighty. So, I'd like to open this up to an Ask Me Anything where we can, you guys can ask me questions about the CompTIA A plus or any of the other CompTIA certifications. You can ask me about questions about getting into the IT field, advancing your career in the IT field. Really ask me anything. So if you have any questions, feel free to drop them into the chat, and I'll try to make sure and get them answered, and we'll go from there. I know I promised you guys a video coming up here soon about the second part of my professional networking series, and I am still working on it. I haven't forgot about it. It will be coming out here pretty soon. I've got it recorded, and there we go. Get the chat kind of fixed here. All right. So, but yeah. Anyways, I got the part two recorded. I plan on editing it tonight or tomorrow and putting it out sometime next week so you guys can see it. I've also recorded several little help desk series videos that will be coming out here soon. Kind of give you guys some more insight into that help desk position, what to expect after you first landed that position. So, I also got some interviews possibly coming up here in the soon future. So, a lot of content coming out here soon. So, giving me and ask me anything is like opening a Pandora's box. Alrighty. So I'm going to move the chat over here. So, oh, no, I guess I can't. What do you think the major difference is with the new A plus content will be? So the major difference. To be honest with you, I haven't personally looked at. I haven't got my hands on the new exam objectives. I know there's going to be a lot of hardware. There's really not a lot of changes. So Professor Messer is already putting out content for the new 10 series and A plus. I'm hearing no more than like a 20% change in between the two series. Like I said, I haven't actually started looking at the new 10 series yet. I plan on kind of incorporating some of that into my A plus study groups here slowly but surely. I'm currently trying to take my 902 exam at the middle of next month. So I'm finishing up my studies on the 902 equipment, and then I plan on probably by next month's study group and trying to incorporate more of that information about the new 10 series exam. So does CompTIA repeat their questions a lot? Like during their exams? Well, I can't really disclose that. They might have similar questions worded slightly different, trying to catch you. But yes and no. So, all right, let's see. Help desk advice. Ask questions always. What can make you happy? What can I do to make you happy? So, uh, Stephen Nicholas there. Sorry. So yeah, I mean, ask questions a lot. Especially if you just enter that help desk role. I know that wasn't a question; that's more of a statement you're stating there. But yes, ask questions though, because they'll show people that you're interested. And when you're asking questions, you got to make sure and word it properly so people don't think you're not knowledgeable. You don't want people to think, oh gosh, this guy doesn't know anything. He's asking all these questions. But on the same hand, don't worry about that as well, because it's all part of the job, and you do want to ask questions. So, you just got to find that right balance. All right, Aldi. I'm applying for a student position at my school. They said they will decide by mid-January. How often should I bug them beforehand? They mentioned there's a ton of candidates. Is that good? They said they'll decide by mid-January. It wouldn't hurt to once in a while send them a message, or just touch base with them and say, hey, I just want to make sure there's no more information you guys needed. Just want to see if there's any other questions I could answer. you know, I'd probably say every other week would be a good safe bet. You might kind of wait off if you've been given a date like mid-January. You might wait off until it gets a little bit closer to that time before you start bugging them. But afterwards, you can start bugging them a little bit more frequently. So, personally, that's what I've always done. So if you're given like a hard day, hey, we'll have an answer by the end of next month. I really wouldn't bug them until the end of next month comes rolling around. And right around the time you're expecting to start hearing an answer, you can start reaching out little feelers like, hey, my name's so-and-so, I applied or I interviewed, and just wanted to touch base with you, make sure if you guys need any more information or if there's anything I could answer for you. So hopefully that answers your question there. Alrighty. Keeping yourself relevant is okay. And yeah, it doesn't hurt to keeping yourself relevant. Keep yourself fresh in their mind. Keep yourself they're gonna remember you more. Like, oh yeah, that's this guy. Keeping yourself, I guess, relevant is really the best term for it. So, alrighty, any more questions? Let's see here. Pull up the stream. Awesome. So we really blew through that study group way faster than I was expecting, but right about a half an hour isn't too bad. So sorry that the chat didn't quite work the way I was planning. We still had, some complications. We're trying to get everything sorted out. So pretty new at this, but I really enjoy you guys chiming in and, joining the study group. So. Steven, School for Cybersecurity and Self-Teaching A+. That's awesome. I mean, I self-taught myself A+, pretty much most of my, that was my main way, especially now that I'm actually in a help desk role, a support specialist role. Then I went out and reached out, used some Professor Messer material, Pluralsight, IT Pro TV, CBT Nuggets. I kind of dabbled in all of them just so I can try to find the right material. And I noticed as I was kind of dabbling in each different learning platform, everyone teaches everything a little bit differently. And some vendors were leaving out things that other vendors were talking about. So it was kind of cool that I got that experience to try different learning platforms to make sure I was really well rounded before I went and took my exam. Like I said, I'm going to go take my exam for my 902 here the 15th of January. So been studying up like crazy and hopefully helping you guys study too and keep you guys motivated. So I'm self-taught for all my CompTIA knowledge. That's awesome. This is an awesome resource. Please keep it going with it. Yeah, Zach and I did 2 other study groups. Like I said, I linked them in the description below. So if you want to go catch those replays, you can. There's probably about 15 questions 10 to 15 questions on each. I plan on doing this at least once a month. So I'll put more information out. If you haven't checked our Facebook page out, go over there, and that's where you'll get a lot of the notifications. When we're going to do study groups and all that kind of stuff. The second Friday of every single month, I do an Ask Me Anything. So very much like this, where people chime in with the chat, and you can ask me anything. And then 2 weeks after that, so the fourth Friday of the month, I plan on doing the A+ study group every month. If there's a huge demand for it and a lot of people start chiming in, then we'll possibly do it twice a month. So the whole reason I do this is to help people grow their skills, grow their knowledge in the field. And I just hope to be a resource for everyone, someone who's been there and done it. So. Joe, I'm taking my 902 exam on the 27th. Wish me luck. Hopefully I'll be A+ certified. I wish you luck as well. Hopefully I will be A+ certified as well by then. Like I said, I'm taking it on the 15th, so I wish you tons of luck on the 27th. So, I'm sure you guys will do great. There's a lot of resources out there, so, just keep on studying. What would be a good question to ask for mental or mentality for a newbie in a user support role? So are you asking like what would be a good question to ask for in an interview, like afterwards? They're asking, do you have any questions for us? Is that what you're referring to, or are you just talking about like questions to ask like once you've got into the field already? Let me know. So Steven, I'm going to throw it out to you. So you're saying you're self-taught for your A+, have you taken your 901 exam yet? And what's your plans for your when you're going to take your exams and stuff? I'm kind of curious. Self-taught is, I know, a difficult way to go, but for some people it's, and your only choice, and sometimes it's the best choice as well. So all right, Taylor, what is a realistic time frame to go and take the first test if studying a couple hours a day? That really depends on how confident how fast of a learner you are. So I went and took my 901 exam in November, and probably about middle of November, I think it was. And now I'm turning around and taking my 902 exam about 2 months later. Um, I I have a very busy lifestyle, so I work full time as IT support specialist. I got 3 kids, which one of them is asleep on my futon behind me. I think you can see see a little side there. But anyways, I got 3 little ones. I do this, run the YouTube channel. I also help create. I'm creating content for Zach's channel, IT career questions. So I got a crazy busy life. So my timetable is way blown out of proportion. I'd say if the average learner could probably get each exam, study for it, take about 3 months for an exam and study for it and take it in the 901, 902. So 6 months total for your A plus. I'd probably say that probably be about an average. But I mean, it depends on how fast of a learner you are, what kind of material you're using, how much time you said you a couple hours a day to devote, but also during those couple, if you're trying to devote a lot of time, how much of that information are you retaining? If you're dumping like 8 hours a day, that's not realistic because you're not retaining 8 hours a day worth of information. So let's see. How long did I study for my CompTIA A plus? My 901 was probably about a year, to be honest with you. So I took about a year, and that was solely because I procrastinated. I was trying to make the switch to an IT job. I was juggling a whole bunch of different things. I was trying to make the break into the field. I was working full time, probably juggling about as many things as I am now, but I just procrastinated like crazy, and so I took a year, which is perfectly acceptable. I mean, if you plan on taking a year, you're definitely going to need to study for the 10 series because the 9 series is not going to be available after probably June. So you have until June to take the 901 and 902 exam. After that, you have to take the 10 series exam. So, and if you've taken your 901, you need to take and pass your 902 before June, because otherwise, if you don't, your 901 that you took is no longer good, and you have to start all over with the 10 series exams. So, how long did you study, especially for someone making a career change? Well, hopefully I answered that question for you. Like I said, I was making a career change. I took about a year just for my first exam, and then now I'm just taking 2 months for my second one. And in all honesty, I could probably go take the exam today and just be fine. But I really want to make sure I do a good job when I take it. So I'm giving myself plenty of time. So, all right. Excuse me. Sorry, I'm just getting over a cold here. So if you're just joining in the chat, we just got done with this month's study group. I'll make sure the replay is available if you want to go catch the replay sometime. Right now we're doing an Ask Me Anything where you can chime in, ask really me any questions. So let's see here. Let me double check and make sure no one was asking questions over on Twitter. It's like didn't get the chats merged. Nope, nothing over on Twitter. Okay, back to YouTube. So I'm going to school with DeVry, and they give me an A plus cert in 2020. I want it faster, and there are so many resources out there to educate yourself. I want to help people, and as you do. Awesome. I mean, if you're, I'm assuming with DeVry that you're through your studies, you're studying, you get they have you take the A plus exam. It sounds like in 2020, so that'll be the 10 series exam probably. I doubt that CompTIA will revive it again or change it again by 2020. So more likely that'll be the 10 series exam you'll be taking there. So wanted to catch the live stream, but had to work. Can't wait to catch the replay. Thank you for doing this. You're welcome, Paul. This like I said, I'm trying to still work out all the bugs here. I really hope you guys enjoy these live streams. I've got so much content coming your way. I just had to have some time to edit it all. Let's see. Yeah, when getting just hired example, what's the difference between having certs and having an associate's degree? So okay, so answer that last question here. So when you're just getting hired, good questions to ask. I mean, really at that point, any questions like. So I'm assuming you're meaning like just getting hired. So when you just get hired, you're not expected to know it all. When you first land that job, no one can come in knowing everything. Every company does everything different. So ask plenty of questions. The key thing is, I think, is not to be asking the same question over and over again. Ask a question and take notes, whether that's in Notepad, Evernote, OneNote, pen and paper, whatever you got to do. Take notes, because asking the same question again just shows you're not paying attention. So, take notes, take good notes, and that way you can really answer the questions good. Excuse me. Alrighty. So I'm probably going to wrap things up here in a little bit. That way I don't lose my voice completely tonight. But, feel free to chime in the chat if you got any more questions. I'll try to make sure and get them answered this evening. Let's see here. Steven, you are welcome. I really enjoy doing this. I really enjoy helping other people. I mean, I do it all day at work. My job's an IT support specialist. So, but I really enjoy helping people get into the field. This was a huge dream of mine to be in the IT field. I can't tell you how many years I always wanted to be in IT. And now that I've pretty well have obtained my dream job as a support specialist. My job's amazing. All the best thing I can think of doing is returning that favor and trying to help others achieve their dreams. So, one cool thing I just found out today is sounds like I'll have some interviews coming up. Some live interview, not live, but I'll actually be interviewing a couple different people. So, and they'll again their input. Don't want to announce that quite yet until the deals are all assured up. But I'll have some cool interviews coming up, so I hope you guys can tune into those and catch those. And yeah, absolutely. Steven, Merry Christmas to everyone. Absolutely. Looks like no one's really got many more questions, so I'm going to wrap this thing up here. I really hope you guys enjoyed. Like I said, if you came in late, go catch the replay. I always leave the replays up to these live streams so you guys can see them, revisit them or whatever. We did 2 other live streams over on the IT career questions page. Those are linked in the description below, so go check those ones out if you haven't seen them yet. Unless anyone has any other questions, I hope you guys really enjoyed the live stream. Until next time, take it easy.